Morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. Um it's quite early in the morning and we have the school run ahead of us, and I thought I'd do a get ready with me this morning. Because a lot of the looks I've done recently obviously have a lot of products, they take a lot of time. The reality is that we don't have a lot of time and maybe don't have a lot of products. I know I've collected a lot because it's my hobby and because I can't spend on other things. But the reality is, most people haven't got all the products, say, like I did the other day in Charlotte Tilbury's tutorial. So I thought I'd do a little get ready with me and show you what I do when I haven't got an awful lot of time. And I haven't got an awful lot of time this morning. So I hope you enjoy it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on this, it's Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation. What I like about this is it's a very close match to my skin. It's pretty decent coverage, but it doesn't look caked on. It's one of those higher coverage foundations, but it doesn't look like a high coverage foundation. So I'm just going to dot that around my skin like so, and then I'm going to take this brush because it blends it really easily. Now obviously I've moisturised before now. If you let that sink in a little bit and then put this on, or any foundation on, then it's going to blend a lot easier. And this brush just makes light work of it, really, because you just put a tiny layer on. So you're putting a full coverage foundation on, but it's a small layer. And then I kind of go round the places that I want to have a bit more coverage. And what I do then is kind of press and twist it in rather than drag it. That way I get a little bit more coverage from the brush, like so. And then obviously my eyes, dark circles. I've got this one, which is double wear, Estee Lauder, stay in place, and it does stay in place, which is why I like it. And I'm just going to dot that around there where my circles are. I've got very puffy eyes, as you can see this morning, so I'm going to just put a little bit on my lids as well. Often happens because I'm a side sleeper, so I often have one eye puffier than the other. And I'm just going to blend this in with my fingers, because your fingers can get into the nooks and crevices of your eyes so much easier and so much quicker when you haven't got an awful lot of time. And you notice that I'm sort of doing a bit of rubbing, a bit of tapping, just to, in areas that I want a bit more coverage, I tap. Areas where I want it a bit more blended on top there, I swipe. Okay, so that is my foundation. Now I'm not going to powder it. I will powder under my eyes. Now I love this brush. It's one of my favourites. It's not expensive, but it's brilliant. It's a Real Techniques setting brush. It's just so good for getting in everywhere. It is my favourite brush, and I'm just going to dot some Flawless Finish. I do like this powder. I do think it's worth it. Everyone raves about it, but it is a good powder. It's a Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish, because it doesn't look powdery, but it just sets. It's really good for doing under the eyes. There's a couple of really good under eye powder setting ones as well. Again, if you've got more time, but if you just want to do everything quickly, like do your nose, and you don't want to be using separate under eye powders, separate this, separate that, you just want to get the job done. So I'm just going down my T-zone. I don't want to have a matte finish on the side of my face because that gets really dry throughout the day anyway. So I don't want it to get any drier by putting powder on it. So that's kind of my powder. If I need to top that up later, I will. And then I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury's Bronze and Glow. This is the one in light to medium. I'm that sort of shade where I can wear the dark one, but the dark one is probably better for going out for me, and the highlighter is quite orange, so it's more of a, I use it more as a blush, although you can use it as a highlighter. So with this one, what I just like about this is it's so versatile. You can contour with it, which I'm going to do right now. Do a bit down the side of my nose. Don't worry if it doesn't look blended in, it will do soon. A bit under my double chin. Sorry, I may not seem that upbeat this morning. It's early and I'm in pain and I'm tired, but this cheers me up, so thank you guys for joining me. Right, so that's kind of very rough contouring doing. I've always done this. I always just think, I don't know why, just no one's told me to do it. You won't find it in a tutorial, but somehow for my face shape it just makes my face look thinner. Don't know why, just works for me. Right, and then obviously you've got your highlighter, which I just dust on here just to give me a bit of a glow. But this is why I love this product, so just stay tuned. I don't switch to an eyeshadow. I just stay with my Bronze and Glow and I use it on my eyes. First of all, I'm going to take the bronze shade with a blending brush and I'm just going to go around the crease of my eye like this, and it's just going to add a bit of definition. It's just going to make me look, and I haven't cleaned the brush. Great. Now this is a thing that happens. Now if I do this one, this has got some grey eyeshadow in from the other day. How fantastic. Do you know what? I'm going to keep going because it's done it evenly on both sides. So that isn't just the Bronze and Glow. That's me not cleaning my brushes, folks. Never mind. Right. Now you can probably see a little bit of the Bronze and Glow. I'm going to go with it because no mistake is ever undoable in makeup. But suffice to say that you won't normally get a grey crease from putting bronze from the Bronze and Glow onto your eyes. Okay, and then what I do is I take my finger with the highlighting shade and I just press it onto my lids like so. And I press some under my brow bone. A little bit in the corner of my eyes, just to make me look a bit more awake. Like so. And then I'm gonna take my fingers to do this. Nothing beats fingers when you're in a hurry. It just is the best blender in the world. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. And then I'm not going to bother lining my eyes. I'm just going to take my MAC upward lash, which I love because I have long eyelashes but they're straight and this curls them instantly. Let me do it on one eye and you will see. Oh, I've just left a little blob there. It's going to be one of those days. But you know what? I'm going to keep going because this is what happens to everyone when they're putting their makeup on. And I'm not going to stop it and make it perfect. That's not the idea of this video this morning. I will go over that in a little while, and you see I can just do that with my finger right now, and it just looks like a bit of eyeliner. So you can see how much that kind of brings my lashes to life. I just love this mascara. If you've got reasonably long lashes but they're straight so they look like you haven't got any, this is the mascara for you. It's not for everyone. If you've got short lashes, I've seen some reviews that say it's no good. But if you've got reasonably long lashes, but like mine, they just come straight out and they don't curl, this is just fantastic, because something about the brush and about the formula just curls them up and transforms your lashes in one coat. And I love it. I think mascara is one of those things that you find one that works for you and you stick to it. I've just found that, I think, and I go through phases of finding things that work for me, and then I either go off them or my skin changes or whatever, and you start using something else. And now I'm just going to do a quick second coat. Now, because the eyes are not that bold, the little trick I always do is then I can afford to go bolder on the lips. And when you go bolder on the lips, it's really funny. I was out the other day and I had nothing on my eyes, nothing on my cheeks, but I'd put a bold lipstick on. And I got to my son's school and someone said, "Oh, I really love your makeup." And it was really funny because the only makeup I had on was a bold lip. But it's a good way to kind of cheat the fact that you have got makeup on when you actually haven't got that much. I really don't like that eye. I think it's because it's looking a bit swollen this morning. I don't think it's the makeup. Anyway, so I'm going to use this. The other good thing about this is it's a liquid lip, retro matte liquid lip from MAC. What I like about these lipsticks in general, it doesn't have to be MAC, but the liquid lipsticks is that you don't have to go and line them. You can do, but if you're in a rush, you don't have to line your lips as well. And this is bold with a capital B, but I love it. Excuse my stomach rumbling, guys. Now, I will say, for anyone watching me with a disability that affects their ability to put makeup on, this may not be your product. Because the reason that you can do without lip liner is because basically you put it all on with the wand, and you have to have quite a steady hand. So I wouldn't go for a formula like this if you've got unsteady hands. I would go for a bullet lipstick. You can still wear a bold lip, don't get me wrong, but go for a bullet lipstick or even a cream lipstick in a pot and dab it on with your fingers. You're not going to get this sharp line, but it doesn't matter. It looks lovely. So I just would avoid something like this and go instead for a cream lipstick in a jar, like one of the Trini Stack lipsticks. They do them in Boots as well. Or go for a normal lipstick in a tube and kind of pat it on with your fingers. Anyway, so that's it. That's all I do when I'm kind of... Now, the other thing I just will do just at the last minute is I've kind of contoured, but I haven't bronzed, and I am looking a bit pale. So I will go back into my bronzer Whereas before I've used it to kind of contour, I just go back in and I'll just bronze up my face. Again, this will just give the impression that you've spent more time on your makeup than you have. And if I've got a little bit more time, which I have, not much, but a little bit more, I will just quickly go over my brows with one of these brow mascara type things. And it doesn't take a lot of time. You're just brushing the hairs up. You're not having to draw intricate lines. And it does complete the look if you've done your brows. It's subtle. It looks subtle, but it kind of completes the look. So there you have it. Now, this wouldn't normally look that grey on my eyes. As I said, I still had eyeshadow. I don't even know what it was that I had on there, but I went with it and it works. So I don't believe in starting again. I haven't got the time to do it. And actually these things happen to all of us all the time. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my Get Ready With Me. If you have any questions, please ask below and I will put a list of the products that I've used. But basically it's going to be a reasonably full coverage foundation that doesn't look too cakey. And the way, if you use one of these brushes, it won't, whatever it is. And a bronze and highlighter, a pretty bold lipstick, whatever you fancy. It could be pink, it doesn't have to be red. And you can use your bronzer and your highlighter on your eyes. And a mascara. And your brows if you want. Okay, take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.